Let's talk a little bit about multiplicity. Multiplicity defines how many objects participate in a relationship. It is the number of instances of one class related to one instance of the other class. So this is talking about implementation, right? So how many objects can be related to another object? For association, aggregation, and composition, there are two multiplicity decisions to make, one for each end of the relationship. For example, take a look at our picture here. It says we have a class called company and a class called employee. A company can be associated with or is associated with one or many employees. So this is the multiplicity. And when we see one and then we see the ... and that means basically or, and then we have this asterisk. So asterisk always stands for many. So we say one, so a company, and then we reach to the other side, can have one or many employees. That means that a company, in order to exist, this company needs to have at least one employee. Okay, and it can have as many as it needs, or it can just have the one, but it at least has to have one. An employee is related to exactly one, no more, no less, companies. And this can also be denoted with a 1 ... rather than just the one. But so an employee is associated with one and only one. So looking at these other multiplicities, we can see that we have 0 or 1. So that's when something doesn't have to have any, or it can have up to 1. This one is just many. We won't use this one in our diagrams. They can have 0 or many, or 1 or many. So let's look at another example of multiplicity. So here we have a class called customer and a class called pay method. And you can see that we have an aggregation relationship. You can tell because we have this white arrow, this open white arrow. And here we have our multiplicities defined. So a customer can have, in our system, this imaginary system that we're talking about, the rules are that a customer can have one or many pay methods. So a customer can have one or many pay methods. That means that they have to have at least one pay method. And a pay method is associated with one and only one customer. So this means that a pay method cannot be associated with any other customer or any other customer account, right? And this makes sense practically when we think about it. We think about an account. You're typically not going to see an account that can share its pay method. I mean, they might be working on stuff like that with Amazon or something where you can have a family account, but we're just thinking simple here. Think simple. Like think a food ordering app. You have your account and you have your pay method. And you have one pay method on that account, or maybe they let you have a couple pay methods on that account. But your pay method will not be shared with any other accounts, right? So that nobody else can use your pay method. So this is how that multiplicity works. A customer can have one or many, has to have at least one, but can have many pay methods. While a pay method in order to exist, has to have one and only one customer that it's associated with. And what this one, why does it have a 1 instead of a 0? Like, why can't I have a customer account here without a pay method? Well, this implies to me that the pay method was given upon the account creation. So in order to even create that account, we needed a pay method, and that's why it needed that. It has to have a 1. If the account was created but didn't require a pay method upon creation, then this might be 0 or many, because the account can exist without that pay method. So anyways, so that's just going into some detail about how to think about multiplicity. So let's go ahead and jump into putting relationships to our classes in our diagram.